Look, I spend a lot of time playing The Sims, and I'm pretty attached to most of the townies in The Sims 4, emphasis on most and not all, but I am not opposed to ranking these Sims. And so today I want to try and make a tier list of all of the base game townies in The Sims 4. We just dropped a new merch line celebrating Stanley Humphrey, also my birthday, but mostly Stanley. So if you want to grab this ridiculous plushie of my weenie sim or this super cute t-shirt, they're available now on lilsimsieshop.com, and I think you're gonna love them. I just spent a pretty decent chunk of time making this tier list so that we could do this, and I will say I owe an apology to a couple of these Sims. Like Zoe, I'm sorry, I did not notice you were blinking in your screenshot until it was too late. But all of the base game townies are here, and I'm gonna rank them from iconic all the way to stay away from me. Slight problem is that there's a very fine line between iconic and stay away from me. Like, for example, Eliza Pancakes, I literally don't know where to place. Like, I'm feeling very unsure about which of those two groups she belongs in. But in between, there's also cool, nice enough, and who? Question mark? Now, I know all of these Sims, but I think there's a few that are maybe just a little bit less famous, and they would go in that group. Obviously, we have to start with Bella Goth, because Bella Goth is like the icon of all icons. I feel like she's transcended just the Sims. Like, she's actually famous. To me, she is like the definition of this top tier. And on the flip side, I think that Nancy Landgrab is the definition of stay away from me. Kind of walking that line between iconic and stay away from me, but like, she's rich and mean, and I want her gone. I think we should probably do the rest of the Goth family next. And I feel like Mortimer, he's not iconic. I'm sorry to say it, but he's just not. To me, he's like kind of in between cool and nice enough, but I might stick him down in nice enough. Cassie gets to be up in cool. I think Cassandra Goth is a little bit better than him. And you know what? I'm sorry to say it, but like, the kids, it's not their fault. Like, it's not Alexandra Goth's fault, but him and Olivia both, like, because they're younger, like, they have less interesting personalities developed, they're kind of teetering between, oh my goodness, hello. We have a cat? They're kind of teetering between nice enough and who, but I might put them up in nice enough. The Landgrabs are difficult for me because Nancy Landgrab especially is like very much in between like the stay away from me and iconic group. It's very hard for me to decide, but I think I might put Nancy up at iconic. And I'm sorry to say it, but I also think that Jeffrey is kind of mid-tier. Like, he's fine. He's probably not actually very nice, but he's fine. I'm sorry the cat is here, by the way. I'm sure you don't mind, but I don't think she's gonna leave. Malcolm Landgrab, though? Malcolm, I would argue, is almost the definition of stay away from me. He's just such a little weasel. I don't want to be around him. He seems like a bully. Like, I bottom tier. I think the same can be said for John Lothario. Like, bottom tier. He's mean. He'll use you. Kind of icky. Just not a fan. Johnny Zest is kind of a tough one for me, because Johnny Zest is a Landgrab, which is really unfortunate, but his whole backstory, I think, of being disowned by the Landgrabs kind of brings him up into the cool group. Like, otherwise he'd just kind of be fine, but the fact that he's a Landgrab and Nancy disowned him makes him interesting. Okay, you know what? Speaking of not interesting, I hate to say it, but Travis Scott has got to be one of the most bland townies in this whole game. I don't know what it is about him. He just means nothing to me. I don't care about this guy. I don't even know what his job is. I'm pretty familiar with like pretty much every single base game townie, but Travis Scott, I've like never played with. I don't know or care about him. And you know what? Jay Huntington III, I'm really sorry to say this again, but to me, he's boring. I'm putting him in the who category. Both of those groups of like roommates aren't really, oh my God, I put the cat off my desk and now she's climbed back up. She's like climbed in between my lap and the desk to get back up here. I told you she wouldn't leave. Anyway, both of those households of like roommates, I don't really feel that attached to. Like, I have sort of a love for the Goth family and the Landgrabs, but like these groups of just random Sims, like Mitchell, you're fine. You're just kind of nice enough. Gavin's kind of the same way. Liberty Lee, though, Liberty Lee is cool. I like her. I like her a lot, and I kind of like Zoe as well. But Summer Holiday, there's something about this woman that is very, very alarming to me. I don't know what it is, but there is something about Summer that I just do not like. I want her gone. She is bottom tier. I have a lot of love for the Spencer Kim Lewis family. Like, the elders in this household, Dennis and Vivian, to me, they're like kind of iconic. I feel like I can't compare Dennis and Vivian to Bella Goth, so I'm gonna put them in the cool category, but to me, they're like the top of the cool category. Maybe I'll put you first. Oh, wait, but Cassie. To me, Dennis, Vivian, and Cassie are tied. I think I'm thinking too hard about this. I don't think it actually matters. I need to stop. I feel kind of inclined to put Eric in the who category, and I feel bad because I'm starting to realize that it's like all the men are at the bottom and all the women are at the top. But like, I've also never really cared for Eric. I've had my Sims date his wife a lot. Like, I've broken up their marriage very often and dated her, but I've never tried to go for him. I'm gonna put her in the cool category. Like, Alice is kind of hot. I feel like she almost needs to go a little bit higher up in the cool category. No, I've saved the Calientes and the pancakes for last because I'm just so unsure about these Sims. I feel like the Caliente family wants to be as iconic as the Goth family, and they're just not. And I think half of that is like their style in The Sims 4. Like, Nina and Dina are so boring. They're so boring. Like, I really want to like them, but they really need a refresh. The Goth family got a refresh. Give the Calientes a refresh because for now, they're kind of bottom tier. I'm just staring at Katrina and trying to figure out where I think she should go because I feel like Katrina is not as iconic as our other leading ladies here. So I feel like she's cool, but I almost think she's a little, like, she's kind of like the bottom of the cool group. And I'm sorry, it feels mean, but like, she's just like fine, you know? I can't tell if I'm just trying to put her up there because I feel like the Calientes should be better than they actually are, but I'm unsure about her. And then that leaves us with the pancakes. And the pancakes are very confusing. I just keep swinging back and forth between putting Eliza in iconic and also in stay away from me. I think I might put Bob in iconic and Eliza in stay away from me. And I think that's my final tier list. Oh no, I don't know. Maybe I should switch Nancy and Eliza. This is a lot more difficult than I thought it would be. I think I'm thinking about it too much. Like, I'm really overthinking this. I should have labeled these better, I think. And there needs to be another mid-tier maybe. But the real problem is just how similar iconic and stay away from me are in my mind. You know what? Maybe that's the deciding factor because amongst this group, Nancy is iconic. I want her to stay away from me, but like, compared to the others, she's better. I'm kind of nervous that I'm going to be judged for my opinions. I'm actually really curious to hear how you all would do this. Because for example, while I never play with Travis Scott or like Jay Huntington, maybe you always date them. And maybe you like despise Zoe Patel and you'd put her at the very bottom. I don't know. You know what? I really enjoy these tier list videos. I've made quite a few. I've like ranked the packs, I've ranked the worlds, I ranked the worst builds in The Sims 4. So I'll link a couple of those videos down below for you. And I'll also link this tier list that I made down below if you want to use this exact one. I'm sure there's probably better versions of like townie rankings on this tier list maker website. This one's obviously just base game, and some of the screenshots they're like blinking in because I did a bad job of taking them. So you might find a better version, but this one's mine. But with that being said, I'm gonna stop rambling at you about base game townies and I'll just end this video right here. If you like Sims videos, I post Sims content like this every single day, although most of the time I'm actually playing the game and not just talking about the game. So if you want to see more of that, feel free to subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow, okay? Bye, everybody. I'm really grappling with this Nancy Landgraf being iconic thing. I mean, it was a very difficult decision. I feel like it might have been the wrong one. It's been hard for me.